Rubik's Sphere. Difficult, unclear situation. It's almost a devil's face. It's scary. It seems to be saying to me, that's all. That's tough. Hey everyone, I'm Kibastic. On my channel you can see that I solved different Rubik's Cubes, the largest Rubik's Cubes on the planet and the most difficult ones. But today I have a unique, even vintage puzzle made on the basis of a Rubik's Cube. Before showing it, I want to remind you of just such a Rubik's Cube. This, if you remember, is a Ghost Cube, one of the most difficult 3x3 shape modes. The one that we've solved many years ago. Be sure to write in the comments if you remember this video. And if you don't remember, check it out and subscribe to the channel. You may find a lot of solutions to cool puzzles. I show you unique things as unique as this puzzle and the one we have today. Rubik's Cube shape mode is like a 3x3, but instead of different colors, it has a different shape of the elements. The most popular shape mode is probably the one you've all seen. This is a mirrored Rubik's Cube, and in each layer it has its own thickness. Therefore, when we scramble it, it changes its shape in this way, and we need to solve it by focusing not on colors, but on the size of the elements moving from one side or another. Accordingly, more complex shape modes have more complex element shapes and are more difficult to solve. So, today on my table you can see the younger brother of this Ghost Cube. A red Ghost Cube printed on a 3D printer. This is a unique vintage puzzle that was sent to me by one of my subscribers from Russia. But if you want to find other incredible, mind-numbing puzzles, you should definitely visit thecubicle.com. I assure you that there you will find the most quality puzzles on earth. The Cubicle store provides fast delivery and uses innovative technologies to create puzzles. That's why there is a large variety of different puzzles for every taste and budget, so you will definitely find a perfect one for you. Also, don't forget to check the Cubicle merchandise and gift sets. The link is in the description. Using my special promo code Kibastic you can get a discount on your order. Just look how stylish it is. It's incredible. This Ghost Cube is considered to be the younger brother of this white version, because it is a little easier to solve. It's easier precisely because there are, if you look closely, symmetrical elements. No matter how we look, the cube will be symmetrical on both sides. Here, too, everything is symmetrical. These details are repeated and so on. This already tells us that it will be much easier to solve it. And now let's see if I am capable of solving this puzzle. You can write in the comments how long you think it will take me to cope with this Ghost Cube printed on a 3D printer, and in the meantime I will use the timer. So, well, I forgot to scramble it. Well, yes, usually before solving a puzzle it needs to be scrambled. Okay, let's try a few moves. You know, despite the fact that the cube is printed with a 3D printer, it turns quite well. Judging by the fact that with each turn of the side it locks with a precise turn of 90 degrees, this indicates that there are magnets inside the mechanism. So this is the same professional amazing puzzle, definitely not worse than same factory options, but today we will try to accept this challenge that this cube proposed to me and solve it as quickly as possible. While scrambled, as you can see, it looks quite wild. Elements stick out in all directions. Among them you can find some symmetrical ones. For example, two symmetrical ones came across here, they are both located on the upper side. This doesn't mean that the solving will be easy. I'll try to make it as entertaining as possible, and now it's time to start. I press start. It won't be super fast, because this is the first time in my life that I'm solving this puzzle. The most important thing here is to understand where each element is located. If you look closely, it will most likely be the center, and in these places there should be edges, just like in a regular cube, the center, edges and corners. Here you also need to look for them, and let's start with this center. I like it the most. I found some more or less symmetrical shape, some kind of figure, and I need to put it instead of this edge. No, I can't do it. Here, Here I have two elements that are accidentally connected. I think that this will be our starting point. Now I need to understand how to put these elements symmetrically on the other side. This doesn't work, and what if we change it? Damn it, and this don't work out. But I put this element in its place, we already have two crosses ready. Here. That's it. So we will assume that the first cross has been done, so these elements are in place, even one of the edges went into place. We will look for elements that will suit us here. The very element with the logo is here, and if you look closely you can already more or less see the shape of the cube. That is, such a puzzle will be considered solved when it is going to be directly brought into the original shape of the cube. These here, although they are the same, but they are symmetrical and they will not replace each other. I mean, each will fall into the right place here, so the search for elements will take us a huge amount of time. But it won't take you a long time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I hope you have already done that. In the meantime, I solved the first layer, and it looks, like this, quite difficult. Although it only took me 3 minutes, a little more. There is a great difficulty in such puzzles. The point is that the central elements, these ones, which are the centers in this case, are not always turned correctly. This can be seen in the example of an ordinary cube. Look at the logo, look how it's located, it's facing me. But if I make the algorithm, it will look in a completely different direction. Accordingly, the more we change the arrangement of the elements on the cube, the more the central element turns, and it has 4 positions. We need to find exactly the one and only one that will be correct, because further it will be way more difficult. Thus, for example, I need to turn this central element with its flat side towards me. And for this I need to either invent some kind of algorithm now or destroy some of the already solved parts. Why didn't I think about it before? Okay. Well. Yes, here we go. That's it. So, where I am? I'm already lost. It's pretty difficult to concentrate because of the shape of the elements. This is how you can do it. You see, the shape looks like a sphere more or less. Sphere. Yeah, sphere. Yes, we are solving a sphere today. Rubik's goddamn sphere. So, whoa! Just look, literally a couple of minutes and the shape of the cube is almost restored. But hey, don't rush, because the most difficult is yet to come, believe me. I know, I have a lot of experience in solving puzzles. By the way, how many of you already know how to solve the Rubik's Cube? If you don't, then be sure to learn. I'm sure many of you want to do this, and it's quite easy to do it. I think people will tell you in the comments how to do this. Thus, I have the first layer, which is at the bottom, and it is completely done. We need to solve the second row fully. The most interesting thing is that in such complex puzzles, I usually use the very beginner method for the very beginners, because the simpler the movements you make, the more likely you are not get lost. And now we have already solved 2 layers. The last, the most difficult one, remains, and it is easy to get confused here. In the meantime, the timer shows us 8 minutes. This is not bad. Let's move on. Now we need at least something that matches, and after that we will move on. We're on the right track. In any unclear situation, you need to use the simplest algorithm. You don't know what to do? Do the algorithm. Oh, it worked! See, I told you. Now I need to swap these... oh no, these 2 elements. Oh no, let's think. These 2 elements. How do I swap 2 elements? Come on, think. How to do this algorithm and not get lost. This way, here, we'll lift it, and 2 times there. everything turned out pretty well, with no hints. As you can see, there is not much left. We need to change two elements with each other, but it is impossible to change them now, it's too late. There is no such algorithm that can change it, and this means that we have a parity, a difficult, unsolvable situation. To solve it, we need to scramble everything that I have done before. So what the element here is absolutely symmetrical. Can these two be symmetrical? Maybe. Let's turn them over too. That's it. Looks symmetrical to me. In general, nothing is clear now. By the way guys, subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications, because in one of the following videos I will try to solve a puzzle called Ball in a Flask. In the end you will see that this puzzle has really unexpected solution. Well. Yes, everything is correct. No. It looks like the devil's face, just look at it. The ghost cube has acquired some kind of facial expression. Well, if you don't understand, here are the eyes, here is the nose and here's the mouth. Really similar, it's getting scary. It seems to be saying to me, your time is over and nothing else will work. But we definitely know that everything will work out. So let's move forward. Theoretically, these two elements need to be swapped. Here. Whoa! There it is! Cool. Now it remains to turn these four elements over. I suppose now they are in their correct places, I hope so, and we will turn them over with the old but gold method for beginners, which is the best one for this. One complication. All this can just fall apart because we can get lost, which is actually what's happening now. At the 15th minute, for real, I don't know what to do with it. Well. Oh, what a mess. Well, that's it, it's a mess. I'm desperate to make any movements. The thing is that, damn it, the shape is so complex. Let's start over, from the very beginning. This video is sponsored by the Cubicle Store, one of the best online puzzle stores in the world. Two layers, fine. So, 2 layers. Okay. This time I did it much faster than the last one, but nevertheless it took a while, and now I'm at this stage and I need to make a decision here and to control the center immediately, but this is really unlikely to happen, so we will do just as we did before. So we turn these two over, 1, 2, okay. Now we need to swap these two. 1, 2, 3. I'm already really experienced in this part, you know. I did it, and what remains now? What? So this is the upper part for us. The saddest thing is that I will still arrive at the same moment, to the same situation that I just have now, which let me down so much. Difficult. How can I change them? What do I need to do? Or maybe turn it over. Turn it over. Why to change? They are symmetrical. Brilliant. Cubastic, you are the best man in the world. This is what I am addressing to myself. Here we go. So, look, we have a slightly different facial expression, slightly different from the previous one. This means that we still need to swap these two elements and these two. I don't want to do it with any complicated algorithm, I'll do it the same way as I did last time. Hopefully this time I will not fail. Now this is what I wanted to see. And look, see this? The fact that the central element I have is the way it should be, and now I can only get lost on the simplest algorithm of this solving. Last time I really got lost, the very last stage, it turned out pretty confusing. Look how well I managed to solve it, apart from the last two details. It only remains to turn them over. Done. My god. I didn't even fully understand how this shapeless mess became a solid, beautiful cube in just a few moves. That's a ghost. Let's call it the Red Ghost. And I think it will take its rightful place in my collection. I really hope that you enjoyed this puzzle and its solution and how difficult it was. And I managed to solve it in 25 minutes and 5 seconds, but taking into account the fact that I got lost once, in fact I solved it twice during this time, but nevertheless only once it was done right. Thank you all so much for watching. I will be glad if you write in the comments whether you liked this video or not, if you want more such videos and similar puzzles. And if you can't wait to watch other videos, welcome to the channel. That was Cubastic, bye everyone and have a good time.